Hello. I hope you're doing well. This is Bear McDonald, your mayor, and I thought I'd give a video update. Today is November 12th, and it marks the 1 year anniversary of when they finished counting all of the write-in ballots, and the Camas mayoral election was called. And then 2 weeks later, I was sworn in as mayor. It has been a very busy year, especially as a mayor. If you haven't watched our other YouTube channel videos, Connie, our library director, has organized them into different categories. And I encourage you to take a look if you haven't and catch up. We also have our council meetings recorded, and they are on the website. I also encourage you to take a look there. I will put it out there, though, that our website is not great. Our council meetings aren't great either. No, our council meetings are great, but the website is not. The good news is we do have a new website coming very soon, and you can watch a preview of that during our last council meeting. The only bad news is you have to navigate through the current website to find it. But the new one is coming soon, I promise. But back to today. 1 year, a mayor-elect today, and almost a mayor now for a year. Today also is my daughter's birthday, so happy birthday, Ava. I am very proud of you. So as I said, it's been a busy year, not what I expected, but really not what anyone expected. And my focus, in 2020 is I just want to get through the next 2 months, month and a half. I've never wanted to be done more with the year than 2020. I want the t-shirt that says I survived the year 2020 and all I got was this stupid t-shirt, and I would wear that with pride. But other than keeping the city running and maintaining the high level of services we provide, I think the biggest focus right now is finishing the biannual budget. Last year at the mayoral debate, a question was asked about where we stand on the budget, and I responded with, I have no idea. An honest answer at the time, but not really a good one. So if I was to answer it this year, I would say that we base the budget around land, people, and honesty, and we're looking good. The last two council meetings were presented on it, and you can find those on our websites. Hopefully, it has been a lot of work from a lot of people. Our finance director, Kathy Huber-Nickerson, has done a tremendous job with her team, and I think tying the budget as she did to the state's COVID phases was genius as we are trying to project without all the information. I thought it was a great solution. And all the department heads have been fantastic. And the council members, Cheney, Councilmember Hogan, and Councilmember Carter have also been working with Kathy and Jamal through the finance committee, and have put a lot of time into this also. I am very grateful for everyone's support. And I believe through thoughtful planning and careful choices, the city can and will endure whatever comes next. The city of Camas remains strong financially. 2020 has changed everything and made everything challenging. I think we've all started to look at things a little differently this year, and I think that's good and scary. When I look at 2020 through my land, people, and honesty filter, I see a lot of challenges, but I feel optimistic. When I think of the land, I think of the current state of our lakes and the need to get them cleaned, and the monumental task at hand to do so. I commend Councilmember Steve Hogan leading the charge with many citizens in putting together a committee to help address and work with as many partners as possible to find solutions and funding. And on a side note, we covered how committees are formed and the different kinds of council committees a little while back with our city attorney, who went through that process. And again, it's on our website. When I think of the people this year in 2020, going back to the land, people, and honesty, I think of mental health and all the challenges that this pandemic has brought with it, affecting people and businesses in different ways. Some are suffering more than others, having big implications on our youth and older populations. They're going to be big issues that we're going to have to solve as a community. And then honesty. Being honest is harder than ever, and especially now in my position. But it is important, and it's what has continued to guide me. I still have faith in what I'm doing. 2020 has brought a lot of social unrest around racial equity and brought a lot of focus around policing in America and institutional racism. It's brought with a lot of challenging conversations during very challenging times. A truly fantastic time to be a mayor, but truly an important time to be a mayor, and to be as honest as I can. Now I'm going to share another story, but first I want to speak specifically on Camas Police, and I would refer you to our YouTube page where we review the department's use of force policies, trainings, and the change that we made this year, as well as our strong track record. There are always areas we can improve on, and we will, but I truly appreciate the work that our officers do, and I'm very grateful that we have the team that we do. This is a time when it's vital to have honest, ethical officers, and I'm grateful that that is the case and culture in Camas. And they've been very transparent this year and are an important part of our city. I think a lot of people, including myself, though, would agree that that is not always the case everywhere in the U.S. I think 2020 has given an overall greater perspective to race to a lot of people, and I think that's good, including me. I talk to a lot of my friends who have, for the most part, changed their perspectives a little on race, moved the empathy dial a little, thought about it more this year than ever before, recognizing that there really shouldn't be two different Americas, whether you're white or black, or if we are truly living up to American values. I know I think about it differently than I did a year ago. I was thinking the other day about when we moved to Florida from Atlanta, when my family and myself moved to Florida and Atlanta. And at the time I drove a Dodge Magnum with tinted windows and had an Atlanta license plate for a month before I got my Florida plates. And during that month I was stopped 3 times for no reason other than questions about my plate. And each time they seemed surprised to see me wearing a suit in the car, or I thought that they did, and as I was driving to work each time. But it was a quick interaction with the officers, no tickets, and it was around under a minute. And I just explained that I'd moved and still had my house in Atlanta, and they let me on my way. So when I got the new plates, I was at the DMV in Florida. They have a huge selection of license plates in Florida, and I got the license plate with the golfer on it because I thought it was the least likely license plate to get me pulled over. I literally looked through them all and was purely thinking, which is the least likely to get me pulled over. And I never got pulled over in that car again, or any other car. I'd point out that I have told multiple stories now where I've gotten pulled over, but I want you to know your mayor has a great driving record currently. But I was proud that I had figured out how to avoid getting pulled over and hacking the system almost. And as I think about it now, I realize that I really was just signaling. I'm an old white guy. I'm not a threat. Now, I don't know if those officers pulled me over because they thought I was black by profiling me on my car and my Atlanta license plates. And I'm not pretending that I can look into their minds or hearts, but I do think that it would have been different experience for me if I was black. I don't think that it would have been as quick and easy. I believe more likely than not, a black man or woman would have been hassled more, and more questions would have been asked, and more likely to get locked up from the interaction with the officer than me, or to have some sort of interaction that was negative. Again, it's impossible for me to know, but that's what I believe. Racial equity has become a word discussed a lot in 2020, and I've talked with citizens that believe we need to do more to achieve racial equity. And then turned around and talked with citizens that feel that the need changes have already been made around racial equity. When I look up the word equity, it means the quality of being fair or impartial. And I believe that we should operate as a city in a way that is fair and impartial. I think we can all agree that's good. And I've tried my best to operate in such a way since day one, and will continue to do so for my remaining 3 years. I believe in America. I love this country. I chose to be an American almost 18 years ago. What I love about America is that you can live out your dream here. You can do what you want, be what you want, live where you want. We have freedoms. I don't believe it's a perfect system, but what I like about the system is that it evolves. It has room to evolve. The system is not perfect. It's made up of people. But I believe if you have the right people in the system and support those people, the system will work. It's never going to be perfect, just as no person is perfect. But I believe with the right people, it can be a lot better. But we, the citizens, own that part. We need to inspire the next generation of leaders, and we need to support those people in those leadership positions. Voting is important, but more important is having the people to vote for. Inspiring the right people to lead is not easy to do. Who at this point in the right mind would want to get into politics? It's vicious. We need to be inspiring people in our community to step up into leadership positions, and we need to then support them doing the job, because it's not easy. Regardless of what your ideas or politics are, it's difficult. One of the things that I want to be rolling out next year is the Camas 101, explaining how the city government works and ways that you can get involved and make it easier. Local government is not that complicated, and I truly believe is where I believe America lives. Growing up, I always saw America as a magical place, and felt that I had won the lottery when we got a chance to come here. I still feel that way, but I also recognize that America has a different history for different people. My great grandfather came to America to find gold during the gold rush. Cormac Rabbit. He was my mother's great grandfather. My mother's maiden name is Rabbit. His dream was to come to America to find gold, and he did that. He came during the gold rush, and he made it happen. He took a boat to America, found the gold, got back on the boat, came back to Galway, and opened up Rabbit's Pub, which still stands in Galway, Ireland today. The America I grew up understanding was one that anyone can come and make their fortune. I think of Mr. Fox, our city admin, and his great-grandfather. In the South, during that same time, he would have been a slave in this country. Two different Americas. America's had a different history for different people. Different stories of what America is passed down each generation. And I think it's very important to understand and to appreciate that. The Declaration of Independence proclaims that all men are created equal, with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We, as a country, are still talking about racial equity and the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. I believe in America, but in order for America to be America I believe in, we need to live up to that. I commend Councilmember Corder, Councilmember Burton, and Councilmember Anderson as they've been working with the community to delve into equity in Camas and how we can ensure Camas is a welcoming place for all. We're also looking at this from a city's perspective in ways that we can improve. Treat others as you would like to be treated. I like the golden rule as a standard. We as humans can be very cruel. I believe if you look at any country's history, you'll find evidence of that. I think it's important not to be blinded by that. Also, though, not to lose perspective, not to be blinded by all the bad things that we miss, the things that we have right now. Not that we ignore the bad things, not that we don't try and make amends for the past, but we don't lose sight who we are now, what we have, the opportunities we have if we figure out ways to talk to each other respectfully. The opportunity we have to listen to each other and listen to each other with open minds and hearts. Moving forward is what's important, but very challenging. I see divisions everywhere, more now than I have ever before. I believe social media has played a huge part in this. Social media is not all bad. It has been a way to share new ideas and thoughts like never before, but I believe it has degraded our civility overall. No matter what the topic, what the issue is, I want to make sure that we have an environment where everyone feels heard. We might not agree, but that is okay as long as we can remain respectful. I feel people are more siloed in their ideas, more unwilling to think differently, less wanting to compromise, to grow together, regardless of what the topic is. I believe if we're going to figure anything out, we have to do it through conversations and trust and by coming together. I like having a diverse set of ideas and perspectives around me. I think that's important. I don't like being put in a box. I don't think that most people do. I want people to challenge my ideas, to make them stronger, but at the same time be willing to listen and adjust with greater perspective. One of our department heads recently said to me that they didn't like group thinking, and I wasn't familiar with that term, but when I looked it up, it's a good word. It's when you want everything to be smooth in a group, that everyone agrees at all costs. It minimizes conflict, but doesn't allow for critical evaluation. I think groupthink is easy to slip into, but very dangerous. I want people to be honest and feel that they can. This is a tough time to be honest, but I think it's the most important time, and I think we should be able to talk through our problems. And to be truly honest, I think we need to be able to understand ourselves and our own ideas before we can even do that. Do we believe in something because everyone else does, or are we being true to ourselves? I think small changes can have a big impact if we are genuine in our approach. We need our community to come together. We need to find the middle again. That's where I believe we can have the conversations where both sides can be heard. In the middle, that's important to me, and I think it's the only way we can figure out together how we're going to grow as a community. I believe we're going to have to address many issues that COVID has caused, but I believe that we can. I do not have all the answers, but I am listening. I'm learning, while staying true to myself. We have to talk and work together to figure them out. We need to set the example by our actions. I think it's important we don't make assumptions of others, that we generally try to know someone and understand where they're coming from. Give people the benefit of the doubt. We need to give each other a chance. We need to have humility. And if you need humility, Mel Locke over at Universal MMA downtown will be happy to sign you up for some jiu-jitsu classes. And you will learn everything you need to learn about being humble. I promise you that. All of the life lessons that you could ever want, you can find down there. But I believe this is an important time to be a mayor, and I'm still up for the challenge. I can honestly say that right now my biggest focus is just keeping the wheels on the bus, keeping the city running, and ensuring that our citizens are getting the quality of services that you deserve. We have an amazing city. And this is not by chance. We have an amazing team, and I'm very proud of all our departments. I want to see us through this COVID virus and to better times. I have 3 years left, but quite frankly, I just want to get through the next 2 months. I can't take many more of these 2020 months. Please take care of yourself, mentally and physically. I believe that's more important now than ever before. It's not easy, but it is vital. Eat healthy. Exercise, take a walk, meditate, read books. I was once very overweight, maybe 80 pounds heavier than I am now. And I read the book, The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. And when it came out, and I've maintained my health since then. And I would highly recommend it if you're looking for some suggestions on health. And as a reminder, as a Camas resident, the library will give you free books. There's no late fees, and we do curbside pickup, so no excuses. Read a book. What more could you possibly want? I believe in this community. I believe in you. When it comes to this COVID virus, I believe the next few weeks will be challenging and important, and we need to take it seriously. We need to ensure we're listening to the experts, wearing masks, social distancing, washing our hands. I've been listening to Dr. Alan Melnick, our county health officer, and he's been very concerned with the increase in numbers and the projections with people getting together for the holidays. I am taking this very seriously, as is your city leadership. I think it's important to stick with the plan, and I ask that you do it even if you don't believe in it. I have no reason to doubt the experts that I rely on at the national and state and county level. After this is all said and done, I think we can evaluate and see what we could have done better as a nation, state, and county and city. But until then, we need to stay focused on getting through this. I'm still learning. I still have faith. Faith in the city, the council, the community. I have faith in the universe. I have faith in our humanity. So with that, thank you for your time, and please take care of yourself and each other. We are all in this together.